Hello, 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 Aries. Welcome, welcome. Did I hit that? No, I did. Welcome, welcome. My name is Patty. I'm your intuitive empath that is going to do your reading for you today for the 24th through the 30th. It's been quite a morning. I had a really good Leo reading today. Lots of questions. So if you're curious on Divine at the very end, just shoot to the end if you don't want to watch Leo. But there's a lot of good questions from viewers on there. Please go ahead and watch that. But we are doing the week through the 24th through the 30th. Lots of energies going on. Because we have not only a full moon, we've got a lunar eclipse, we've got 3 retrogrades going on, and so much more going on. So pay attention to your energies this week. I'm going to be doing your reading. However, for those of you that are brand new, I mix astrology and numerology with it. So if you're not familiar with that, welcome and see if this resonates with you. So I'm using I'm picking 3 oracles. One is for the divine, one is for the current energies of the week of what's going to happening. And then the third card is your future energies, but I do use a lot of the planetary energies on those because it's really important. The divine's energies and the planet's energies, a lot of them work together because it's like they're all energy out there. So it is just a lot of power in there. So let's get started. And as I get ready to do these 3, there's only a couple of announcements. One is that I am back to doing dailies again. They're little 1-minute dailies. They're called shorts. And please, for YouTube, they're testing this out. And if you could that would tell me if you're watching them. But also for YouTube, it creates a good analysis for them to know if these shorts are really working or a good thing and how to help us creators grow more from them. So that's the number 1, Monday through Friday. Just subscribe, hit the bell. You'll be notified when those are on. The only other announcement is I'm going to do a full moon reading along with the retrogrades, along with the lunar eclipse. This is a super moon, so a lot of huge energies. So that'll be the 26th. I am going to upload the thumbnail later today. I'm not quite sure the time yet. It's going to be between 10 and probably noon Pacific Standard Time on the Pacific Coast here in the United States if you're from another country. So just subscribe and hit the bell. You'll know when that's on. All right. So those are the only announcements that I have while I'm shuffling and getting the energies here for Aries. You guys, my fiery Aries. So interesting. The divine, just a heads up, if you hear me talk a lot about perspectives, the divine is really keying in on that word this month. I don't know if he's trying to make us look outside ourselves or to communicate better, or it could be all of the above, but just learn that it needs to be somebody else's perspective first. Because we already know what we are and that kind of a thing. But to communicate better and understand better, we always have to get somebody else's perspective first. And that is what the first card is. 9. We're back to it again. Is the talisman. Talisman is about our journey. Talisman is about the pathway, where we've been, where we're going, that kind of a thing. This is also the number 4 in numerology. With the Leos, a lot of number 4s. A lot of number 4s, a lot of number 6s about balance and improvement and that kind of a thing. But with this, the talisman, you've been through some of your journeys, and if you're younger, you've got a lot more journey to go. However, you probably have already learned some lessons on what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, who to be around and who not to be around. Well, the talisman is about actually knowing those kind of things, taking that lesson and applying it forward. Thank you. I was going to say something else. They said, no, apply. Applying it forward, because that's going to make your journey much more easy if you pay attention to what those past lessons were. Now, if you're hung up on those past lessons, like an ex-lover, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, wife, whatever it is, your journey is going to be a little bit harder. Reason why is that you keep going back there, or you keep comparing to back there. And so you're going to be stuck, and you're going to still have a little bit more windier road than actually less windy, because they're always having a windy road, because something's you're either coming from a challenge, going into a challenge, or coming out of a challenge, or waiting for a challenge. That's the way life is. period. That's just the way it is. And how you handle all that, that's how you determine if your path is going to be easier or if you're going to have a rough one, because you keep bringing this freaking load of past back up with you. Okay. And this is where we get into the current energies. The current energies are about the rescue. And that's the number 7. And that's your potential and ambition. We are not to rescue other people. We are to be there for them. We are not to fix it for them. And for us, we need to rescue our own selves from a lot of our brokenness and our past. Because a lot of the times, this is the number 7 about your potential and ambition, but it's sometimes being held up from our past. So the divine is saying, you know, to win this race that you need to go in, you got to keep moving forward. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. You have to keep moving forward. I can't help you in the past anymore. That's already done and gone. I need you to win this race. And you don't go backwards in a race. You go forward in a race. And that, again, that's your potential and your ambition. You're sort of holding your own self back because somebody else is living in the past. Now, if you're not living in the past, welcome, Hangam. If you're not living in the past, there is something that is stopping you or holding you. A fear, maybe. There's a fear there. But this is all about the process and moving forward. So the divine wants you to win the race. The thing is with rescuing, we really have to focus in on this energy, because sometimes we think that we can help somebody better than what they're doing. So when we go in to rescue them, sometimes what happens is we are hurting them, because now they can't learn the lesson that they need for the journey, so that they'll know better the next time not to do that. It's sort of like, I hate to use this analogy, but it actually is a really good one. As we have children and you're cooking and the stove is hot, and you tell the little one, don't touch the stove, it's hot. And they're like, okay, not a problem. But then you turn your back and they touch the stove and it's hot and they burn their little hands, and they've learned a lesson not to touch that stove again. But if I would have kept saying, oh, Johnny, don't, they would have never understood that that stove is hot. Sometimes they'll put their hand there. Ooh, Mama's right. I don't want to put my hand on that. However, if they don't learn that lesson, then they're going to repeat it again. So that's sort of just a type of a visual that you can imagine. So this rescue thing, let them sometimes go through. It sounds like tough love or whatever, but I've got firsthand experience on this a lot from my younger brother. However, this is something that you actually have to sort of let sometimes go through. As hard as it is, let them go through it so that they can have something to hold on to for their future. Divine is talking about that. We hold hands way too much of not only our younger people, but we hold our hands way too much because it throws their balance off. It throws their balance completely off. The number 2 here is about balance, okay? An equal balance. And the thing is, it's a number 11, but it's also the number 2 in numerology. But the thing is, we throw that balance off. And the number 2 is about bringing either something together or dividing it. And the thing is, with balance, it's sort of an equilibrium. So this is your future energies. For the future, again, I use the future energies a lot more planetary, which this makes 100% balance, because the whole month of April or May, we've actually been talking about the race between the hare and the tortoise. If you haven't watched your readings, you might go back and watch those. It is about the race, the long-term race, the winning race. You got to keep moving forward for that winning race. You don't go backwards, but you also have to have enough stamina for that race to be able to complete it, or you're going to poop out. And this isn't a sprint. This is a long-term race. So you have to look at where you can balance things out. Okay, so you have the number 4 and the number 2. Okay, so this is about balancing and improving whatever you have to go in the future. But your current energy is huge. This is rescue. Somebody is actually enabling, somebody through a process that they need to let go. They need to stop enabling. It's sort of like children that are spoiled. You give and give and give, and you spoil. You're enabling them, because if you keep spoiling them into their 20s, and then it becomes in their late 20s, and maybe even their early 30s, you're enabling them to grow to the lessons that they need to learn through those 20s. How about their teens? Helicopter moms, helicopter dads. And what that means is you're hovering over. Oh, don't do that. That's going to hurt you. Oh, don't do that. That's going to hurt you. Oh, don't do that. And that helicoptering creates a very weak person, because they don't have the ability to know what it takes to get through something, the resilience and the persistence. And then they actually become weaker because they don't know how to handle the tough things when it comes up. They need to scrape their knee when they fall off their bike to understand that, oh yeah, falling hurts. Let me figure out how to do that so I don't fall down all the time. Falling off a horse, you get right back on. What happens when we're young and we're getting trained to ride horses? Fall off, get bucked off, whatever. The trainer or whoever's teaching you is like, get back on that horse. That first time I was like, no, he just bucked me off. I don't want to get on there. And you get right back on that horse. And I had to get right back on the horse. And the reason why we do that is because we need to learn that what we did something wrong, or we did because the horse was like, yeah, you probably kicked me too hard or whatever. But the thing is, then that horse is going to say, well, if you don't get back on, I'll know how to buck you off again because you're weak. That's the way it happens in life. If you don't get back up and start doing whatever you're supposed to be doing, then you're never going to learn from the mistakes that you make. I don't believe in failure. Don't believe in failure at all. I do believe that whatever we do and go through is a lesson to learn, and that's to bring us forward through our talisman. Okay, so let's get into the reading. Went off on that. First card out is the Five of Wands. Yeah, very unstable. Number 5 is very unstable. A lot of conflict. This is the planets as well. A lot of conflict. A lot of inner struggle conflict. This is the Saturn retrograde energy. This is also the full moon energy. This is a lot of power. There is a balance there. This is an offering. It's like, this is the way I visually see this. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Cups. And the thing is, it's almost like two people are fighting and somebody says, stop. Can we just sort of stop here and try to mend this? Because I really don't want to fight. That's the energy this is. Energy is like a compromise, coming to something that you can actually, again, perspective. Oh my gosh, the divine with this word's perspective this month. This is a perspective problem while you're kerfuffling. You're kerfuffling and you just don't. So somebody's going to make a peace offering and say, hey, can we diffuse this? Can we stop this? I'm really tired of arguing. I don't want to do this, and this is the energy this month, is that, you're not rescuing, you're diffusing. And you say, oh, yeah. And somebody who's in an argument says, oh, I'm sorry. That is such a lame thing. You've got to work on yourself, because you can't say sorry for everything, because it means nothing after you keep saying it. I don't know who that was for, because I don't even know where that came from. I don't know what divine's doing on the other side there. Anyway, so let's keep moving on this. Yeah. Somebody is focused. Okay, so guys, somebody's focused in on the negative aspects so much. This is keeping you unstable. We're here to get you balance. Okay, this is somebody on the other side. This is a rescue mission. It's like, okay, that's funny. This is a rescue mission. Okay, but it's not a rescue mission per se, guys, because this is about the way that we think and the way that we process things. Okay? No, this is a rescue mission. Oh my gosh, who's on the other side saying that? Okay, so the other thing is that maybe they're saying it's a rescue mission because we have to rescue your mindset. We have to bring your mindset to more of looking at those two cups upright, rather than those 3 cups on the spilt over. Sort of like when you hear this old saying, I'm a boomer, so you hear the old saying, stop crying over spilt milk, or I'm going to give you something to cry for. What are you crying about? Do you want me to give you something to cry about? Those are things are really, you're focused in on things that really don't, they may be really important to you. However, if you analyze them a little bit, are you sweating the small stuff? Thank you. Somebody on the other side said they're sweating the small stuff. So I don't know who that is for. Don't sweat the small stuff, because at the end of the day, does it matter if you pass on? Is it going to matter if you pass on? That's what I ask myself when I start getting upset about something. Is it going to matter if I pass on? Is it going to go with me? Does it matter? Or is it just earthly? Or is this about society? Because I'm not about society when it comes to making my decisions, because this is my body, my life, my journey, whatever. This is my decisions. If I want to do something, I'm a grown ass woman. I can make the decision for my body. You don't need to tell me what I am, that kind of a thing. Okay. So this is somebody's time to actually, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. So this is the time to really look at your truth and yourself, of where you want your journey to go. Balance. What is it going to take in your life to bring balance? And the thing is that a lot of the times we focus in on too much of what's in this world. Well, I need more money. That's worldly. I need to have a house. I need to have a new car. You can have all that, but you're looking at it from a world perspective rather than a spiritual perspective. I have been in more abundance since I have gone spiritually than I ever had than living in my world life. I will tell you, the divine, having that relationship like this with him, he has given me so much. I've not had to really ask for anything, because he knows my heart. He knows where I'm going. And I still sometimes wonder where I'm going. All right. Because he'll throw something at me and I'm like, what? Where'd that come from? Like this new book that I'm writing. All of a sudden, I'm writing a book about rock bottom, your rock bottom, what you do and how you get up out of the rock bottom. And I'm like, where did this come from? But he's writing it, not me. Or somebody on the other side is helping with that wisdom, because those words they're not me. I look at it and I'm like, where did this come from? So I don't know what's happening with that. All right. Lots of offerings. Woo! Lots of offerings here. This is your opportunity to change, to transform, to say no to those destructive things. It's your turn to say no to those unhealthy things and stop living in the past. This is your opportunity. Holy Toledo. Remember when I talk about numerology, for those of you that watch me, and I talk about if you see things in numbers, okay? We have got amazing. 5. Usually you say, well, what does 111 mean? These is 5 ones. This means new life, new things, new opportunities, new growth, new transformation, new you. Hey, there's a cookbook back there called The New You. But the thing is, it's about you. Okay, this is about you and your transformation and getting balance and knowing your path and your journey where you want to go. Beautiful, beautiful offerings. Offerings of everything. Offering of love, offering of mind, offering of peace, offering of everything. And again, you've given the world. This is a mind-blowing reading, guys. But it's a transformation. Now, this is about your journey forward, not your journey backwards. And this is going to be June and July as well. Somebody's going to actually have to look at their Saturn is talking about going really deep within. And we'll talk about that on the 26th, about these retrogrades, because they're going to create conflict within you, but they're also going to grow you big time. Because without conflict, there's no growth. Without pain, there's no growth. Without challenges and struggles, there's no growth. And that's why, I was asking Divine, really, what is my purpose here? What is, really my deep, deep down soul purpose here? And I was watching something. I was flipping through YouTube, and I hit um, a channel, and it actually was about a purpose of persevering struggles. And then it hit home because I've gone through suffering, persevering through suffering. And I know that I have had a life of suffering, but I don't look at it as suffering. I look at it as growth. I swear there was a card. Yeah, there was. I look at it as a growth. I don't look at it as suffering. And people do. The people say, "Oh my gosh, you've gone through so much," and I'm like, "I have." Because I'm more spiritual than I am earthly. Oh my gosh, there's a second one, Ace of Cups. So you've got, this is more about your heart's purpose. Definitely. Now you got 6 ones. Okay, 6 ones. You have 2 5s. Something's unstable that you're not allowing yourself to release and let go. Fear is holding somebody back big time. Somebody back big time. Okay, so I'm going to do some clarification here. So we have the Queen of Wands. Oh my God, I just see so many good things. We've got the Queen of Wands, Hangman. We've got the Four of Wands, King of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and 6 of Cups. Again, this is at the heart. Somebody in your future is going to come into your life and try to help you balance it out. I don't know who this is for, but somebody is going to come either back into your future into your future in June or July, and they're going to try to balance things out. They're going to try to challenge you and show you, and it's a good thing because this is a new energy. This is a new person. It could be a new person, could be an old person that you already know, but there is a new energy about it. Whether it's an older person, this is like somebody who's matured and grown, and they're actually going to challenge you. I actually have a friend. They, I've done so many things that they feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I said, I really like it because you challenge my brain. They're like, really? But you know so much. And I'm like, no, you challenge my brain because I'm not a realist, but I like the way sometimes a realist thinks. So they challenge my brain, and it brings me to a different level of understanding of somebody else's perspective, how they live that. That's sort of what this energy is going to bring. A different perspective, a different view, a different way of looking at things. Be open to it. Definitely be open to it, because some of our past experiences are very helpful, and they also grow us to that. However, we also, along that future path, along that race, we have to bring in new ideas, new things. Because if we hit say we're on a race and we hit a big boulder and there's no way around it, there's trees on both sides of it or whatever, we have to bring in some new energy to say, okay, there's got to be a solution to get around it, over it, under it, or whatever, because I got to keep going through it. So this is that new energy that's going to be coming up and bringing that for you. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do your wealth, health, and love for the next, I don't know. Let's see. We might even do a current and future on those. I'm getting something coming through that it should not do this that way. So let me do this. I don't know what's coming through. There's something's blocking. I'm getting a blocking feeling. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so they asked me to do it a different way. So I am going to do this. Okay. So for your wealth, now for wealth, a lot of the times it's interesting because I was going to just say that. The Queen of Pentacles is about definitely more worldly, more to do with first dimension, things that are tangible, things that you want, things that you desire, those kind of things. But the other thing too is to question what your wealth is and how it is and what you want in this life. Again, you cannot go backwards in your wealth. So wealth does change. So what is it in your life that you want right now? What is it going on with you right now? Somebody is actually looking for more to gain for something like a house or a car, something that they need, not what they want. So I don't know what that is for. However, in your wealth, definitely make sure that you look forward uh, and not backwards. Somebody's focusing in on what you don't have rather than what you do have. That's a backward motion. So a backward, and that's also lower vibrational. So if you focus in on what you have and what you can work with, what you can do with it can bring you more abundance. I mean, that's like I got a garage full of leather equipment. If I just let it sit there, yeah, it's great. It could do all this stuff. But if I don't do something with it, then it just sits there. But if I say, oh, I could make a purse or whatever, and I take scraps and I make a purse out of it, oh, look at that. And I put it on eBay or wherever, oh, I could sell it. So this is the thing about wealth. We can have something right there, not even know what it can do for us because we're so focused on what you don't have. This is the energy this week, or maybe even in June, is focus in on what you have and what you can do with that and where you want to go in the future with that. All right. We have for health the number 3, acknowledging. We have the 3 of swords. Okay. So there is some pain. Maybe somebody is healing from injury. Somebody might be healing from this could be the healing from also, you got to remember the brain is part of our body. It is a component. It is a part of our body. We have to think about that. And so we have to look at where pain comes from. This could be a physical pain. Could be an emotional pain. The emotional pain sometimes is harder to get over than a physical pain. Physical pain, if you have, like my knee, at one point, yes, you got to open it up, change the knee, blah, blah, blah. But over time, it will heal and it'll be fine. However, emotional pain is something of the brain that, again, we get stuck in the past and that we need to heal from that. So somebody might be going through a bunch of emotional pain that they need to get coaching on or counseling, professional counseling on. And maybe that's something that you really want to look into. If it's physical pain, this is great to, and here the number 3 is about acknowledging this pain, saying, okay, I do need to go through this pain because I need to have growth. Now, if it's physical pain, yes, we got to get through the pain, get through no pain, no gain kind of a thing, but we got to get through the pain so that it actually can heal properly and that we can actually get back to our normal self. If we just let it go, then we can actually hurt ourselves even more, and then we may become crippled of it or disabled from it. So you got to really acknowledge what this is. Same with your mental health. That is a part of your body. That is something you have to pay attention to. If you're really stressed out, you have to defrag, and you've got to figure out how to lower some of the stuff in your life to get less stress. Become more simple. Simplify your life a little bit more. But this is about your healing pain, healing emotionally. This is a time to acknowledge that and do that. This is going to happen for the next couple of months. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. Very, very beautiful. This is your love relationship card. The 9 of Pentacles is about all the work and effort you're putting into this relationship or love. This is something that I think is current, or if it is new, the willingness to actually put that energy in and grow more in this relationship, because the rewards are going to be worth it. It's going to be beautiful. So when we do all the work with the 9 of Pentacles, the reward is actually living in the fruits of that. So if you're working hard and you're struggling through communication with somebody, it's like you're trying to figure them out. Maybe that's why Divine keeps talking about perspective. If you're really trying to learn about this person, pay attention, whether it's a boss, whether it's a lover, whether it's a friend, whatever it is, or whoever it is, you're trying to pay attention and ask the questions to understand. And when you get into a little bit of a kerfuffle, you step back and say, let me understand them first, because then once I understand them, I can either agree to disagree, or I can say that's not how I believe and walk away, or you can say, hey, oh, okay, I get it. I totally understand that. Okay, I don't agree with it, so can we move on from that and leave it as it is? That's where all that hard effort will bring you closer and a better understanding and get clarity. This is beautiful. That's the fruit, because then you can laugh and enjoy. And then you have history, and you also share those stories later. All right. You share those stories later. You remember when we fought about, and oh my gosh, we were being so silly. Yeah. We were just getting to know each other. That kind of a thing. That energy there. You're going to love it. It's going to grow more love, more compassion, and more balance in your relationship for growing forward. All right. So Aries, that is your reading. Don't forget to think about the dailies, Monday through Friday. They are up and loaded very, very early in the morning. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll know when those are loaded. And then the 26th, I don't know what time. Again, I will put that thumbnail up later today or tomorrow morning, and subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll know when that reading. That's going to be a big reading, because we're going to do astrology first, and then we'll go into a reading. However, there's a lot of big energies there, so I'm going to try to unpack it really quick, and so that you understand what's going to be coming up for your June energies, and to see how that is. So hopefully, but don't forget, you can bring a friend, ask questions, and have a lot of fun. Tell me where you're from. All right, so I will see you either on the 26th. Please don't forget about the dailies, and then on your next reading on the 31st. You guys, we're done with June. We're done with May. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Have a great week, and we will talk to you soon. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Take care.